of the soul through the 5 blue ethers is so exquisite. This is one of my favorite topics. I'm very encouraged that we are given that once we make it to the 5 blue ethers, it's like our last chance for purification of the soul. And it's quite exquisite. And the soul is encased in the subtle body. So it goes into the first blue ether. And this is really fascinating because in the first blue ether, that's our storehouse. That's our cosmic library. It's the Akashic record. It has all those names. And in the Akashic record, the subtle body has been imprinted with our karma, with our Akashic record. And so in the first blue ether, that record gets downloaded into that Akashic record in the first blue ether. And it's quite fascinating because everyone's Akashic record has been downloaded into that first blue ether. So it means we can actually access the first 3 ethers through meditation. So that's why, there's really no new knowledge. It's just been combined and changed and tweaked and expanded upon. But we can access so much wisdom and knowledge through our meditation by going deep into that first blue ether. So in that first blue ether, we download our Akashic record, and it's a very beautiful thing. Then it's possible in that first blue ether that we can access all that wisdom. So we can get a lot of help in this life by going there through our meditation to that first blue ether. Now, the soul, when you're going through the first blue ether, the soul will know intuitively if there's more that it needs to do. And it's not someone, as I said before, it's not someone standing at the pearly gates telling us, oh, you get to go in. No, you don't. That our own soul will know what is needed for us. And that's where we go into the second blue ether. In the second blue ether, this is a really big one because we will go through the next purification process of really looking at what we did in our life. And it's real. Like I said, we are not just a distant observer. We are right there in the middle, looking at it. Not only are we looking at it, we are assessing, did I learn this lesson? And we are not just looking at it intellectually. We're not just observing it. We are living it and given tests. Let's say we can have many lessons, of course, in this lifetime. Let's say one of your lessons was being attached to success, that you needed to be recognized, you needed to be successful, and you needed for everyone to know about it. So that's ego, isn't it? So that might be one lesson that will have to come up, and you will be given a test. If you don't pass the test, if there's still that attachment, then maybe you'll have to come back into another life to finish working on that. Or maybe it's something else of jealousy or attachment to something else. But this is not a bad thing. This is not a shame. It's not a judgment. It's not blaming. This is just your soul just looking at, okay, what do I need more before I can really merge with the infinite? And I've had people come to me and say, oh, I'm so afraid I'm not going to be able to make it, that I'm not going to be liberated in this life. And I say, so it doesn't matter. There's no time limit. It's not a punishment. It's just a project you're working on. Your soul is your project. And sometimes it needs a little more polishing. The first blue ether, I forgot to mention that it's called Kartapurk. And the second blue ether is called Sopurk. So in the second blue ether, let's say you say, okay, I need to come back. And I need to come back into another life. And then you have a say of what body you're going to be in, if you're going to be a man, a woman, a transgender, have a disability, you could be blind, you could, whatever you need in this life, in that next life, to fulfill whatever lessons that you haven't finished. What parents you have, it's all a part of it. They're all a part of helping you finish those lessons. Okay, but let's say you go on, you make it to the third ether. The third ether is very different. Whereas the second ether was individual, the third ether is more about group consciousness. And this is where it's called Purk. And this is the realm of the Khalsa, the pure ones. That unity of all of us. And up to this point, we have faced karmas and received tools that we need to pay them off. We've maybe decided we need to go back. Now in this one, the lessons are free of time and space. And we move into a more refined realm where we are looking at that kind of more of a universal consciousness of service, where we are looking at serving one another. And it's there's a grace and a dignity, and it relates to spiritual consciousness and service. And this is the realm that angels exist. And those angels, that we make a choice, that one way of finishing our karmas is by being an angel in the third realm. And we are available to people here on earth to help them with their lessons, to help them serve their mission. And maybe you've heard, oh, all my angels are helping me, or call upon your angels. Well, that's real. We have them and they're there for us. And we can choose to be one when we get to the third ether. And that's one way that we can finish our karmas, We don't have to necessarily come back into another life, especially if the consciousness is at a certain level. We can choose to be an angel. And, you know, in some of the Christmas shows that talks about, oh, the bell rang and an angel was liberated. Well, that's not far off in our belief either, that we can be an angel. And at a certain point, then we will move on to the fourth ether. And I will add here that there is no time limit of how long you spend in each of the ethers. It's timeless. So it's not like you have 40 days in the first one and 90 days in the second one. No, we may go very fast. It may take us a while. And what decides it is our own soul. We decide. We look at it very neutrally and kindly, you know, with compassion. Okay, we need this now. Then between the, and as we go into the each ether, there's like a skin, there's like this coating that we cross through. But when we go from the third to the fourth, there's a big shift. That from the third and the fourth, we can't be reincarnated again. We don't have that option unless we make a deal with the infinite. Let's say we go into the fourth ether, and normally we don't have the option of being able to come back once we get into the fourth ether. But let's say we make a deal to say, okay, I've got this higher consciousness, because by the time you get to the fourth ether, you're on the level of Moses and Christ and Guru Nanak and Guru Ram Das. That's where they hang out to be available for us. But let's say you really are passionate about some cause or something that's happening here on earth. And you say, okay, I want to go back and serve humanity with the consciousness that I have. So you can make a deal. But normally, once you get to the fourth ether, that's where you are, and you can't reincarnate after that. Now, you can hang out in the fourth ether for a long time, and the soul is still in the subtle body. And so it's possible through our meditation that we can access souls that are in the fourth ether. And I like to believe that there are, besides these quote unquote holy people, that there are lots and lots of people that are hanging out in the fourth ether. Some of our beloved people that have passed from the Dharma that have been, you know, really exceptional, that are there for us. And we can meditate on them and not meditate on their personality, not like say, oh, Siri Deva, I'm connecting with Siri Deva. No, it's that soul. The soul doesn't have a personality anymore. It's an essence. And so we contact that essence. Going into the fifth blue ether. Now, this is the really big one, because it means that the soul doesn't need the subtle body anymore. it just merges. When you get to the fifth blue ether, which is Brahm, which means God, you are merging with God. And that's it. You are done. Now, people have asked me, well, if someone is in the fourth ether, does that mean that they can't merge into the fifth ether? And if they're in the fifth ether, does that mean they can't be available to us anymore? And what the teaching is that if someone has merged into the fifth ether, that's their personal accomplishment. That's what they've made it. The soul has made it. But there may be an impersonal aspect of it, or maybe as a teacher, they're still available in the fourth ether. Now, this is really important because it's a little confusing. On the personal level, as the person's evolvement, their soul's development, they have earned to merge into the fifth ether. But maybe as to keep fulfilling their mission, their soul's mission, then they are also available in the fourth ether through the subtle body to keep helping people and to be accessible. And you say, well, how is that possible? Keep in mind, there is no time and space. Everything is possible. And yeah. Now, people have also asked me, if someone is reincarnated, does that mean I can't contact them? And again, the message I've gone about this is that it's beyond time and space. And so you can still contact the essence of that person, even if they have reincarnated. So like we all know that Guru Ram Dass is liberated, and we all know that we meditate on Guru Ram Dass. We chant to ask help from his essence, and that energy that we get from Guru Ram Dass, he has a particular energy, and it may be a little different for each of us, but there's story after story of people that have meditated on Guru Ram Dass and have been given help, have been assisted. And we meditate on him and chant to him at his birthday time in October for miracles. We all give our prayers for miracles in our life to Guru Ram Dass. But that doesn't mean that he's not in the fifth ether as well. The five blue ethers are very beautifully described in Japji. The first ether is described in Paurees 34. The second ether is described in Paurees 35. The third ether is explained in 36. And the fourth and fifth ether are described in Paurees 37. So it goes in order from Paurees 34 to Paurees 37. It's a beautiful description of them. And you can meditate on them. You know how the Guru is, it's pretty subtle. So you can meditate on those words of how that feels to you, what that means for you. And there is no right and wrong. And it can change. You know how it is when you meditate on something, it can have one meaning one day and it can have another meaning another day. And it's fine, it doesn't matter. People that have crossed over that we, maybe let's say they're in the fourth ether and we're experiencing them, we can experience them in different ways. We can experience them through our mental bodies. We experience them like that would be in dreams, let's say. We can experience them in their radiant body. And that would have to do with like the flow of existence. And then the subtle body, of course. And it is possible to develop a new relationship with someone who has passed over. But it's a little bit dangerous because you never want to prevent your process of going on in life by holding on to someone. So, and you also don't want to have an expectation because that soul, they have their own mission. Like I know someone that has told me that her parents who were scientists in life, that they are still being scientists on another galaxy. And they're dealing with all this new science that's going to be transmitted into scientists here. I thought that was so fascinating. And she said, so I'm being really careful that I'm not projecting on them anything except that they need to fulfill their mission wherever they are. But I know with my mother, many times I'll feel her come and help me when I'm having, when there's a problem, especially in the family. So